Mittében vagyunk, ez az a városrész, ahol a legsikeresebb startupoknak vannak az irodái. Lukással fogunk találkozni a Brand New nevű cégtől, amelyik mostanában az egyik leginkább befutott startup Berlinben. Annyira jól megy nekik az üzlet, hogy már New Yorkban is nyitottak egy irodát nemrég, viszont megtartották a berlini helyet is, mert itt sokkal olcsóbbak a bérleti díjak.
Just this morning I read on Twitter that every 20 minutes in Berlin there's a new startup being founded. Germany has a really cool and smart trick. Normally when you want to have a limited company, it costs a lot of money. I know England was the first country that actually lowered the boundary and allows you to start a limited company for like £1 or something. Germany now has something similar. It's called UG. And anybody can just start it for around 400 euros, which is mostly a price for a notary anyway, not the company itself. And therefore, you can have a business like immediately within a week or two of setting that up. And all you need is an idea and then a bit of a financial support for that idea. Usually people get that initial support either by friends and family or they look for angel investors.
Az angel investor olyan tehetős befektető, aki fantáziát lát egy startup fejlesztésében, ezért nem sokkal az indulása után seed money-val támogatja. Ez nagyjából 25 000 – 100 000 dollár között mozog.
They say that at the end of 2015, there's gonna be in the whole year 16,000 startups here in Berlin who emerged this year. 16,000. You're like, oh my God, there is competition here. I'm not the only one doing what I do. So how can I do it better than everybody else? How can I get the funding before everybody else? That's also the situation that I think a lot of startups are facing.
Elég sok pénz van, tehát hogy nagy a befektetői bizalom, rengeteg vállalkozás kap támogatást, illetve befektetést. Számomra tulajdonképpen sokszor érthetetlen módon. Tehát, hogy amikor látod, hogy megjelenik egy piacon még egy házhoz szállító cég, ahol ételeket lehet rendelni és házhoz szállítani, és akkor nem igazán értem, hogy miért. Mert már 5-6 van különböző modellben. Van, amelyik biciklivel szállít házhoz, van, amelyiknek az a legfontosabb, hogy 15 perc alatt szállítja ki neked az ételt. Nem pontosan tudom, hogy ez miért van, de egyelőre azt látom, hogy elég nagy a pénzbőség.
Berlin, it's very open-minded for creative ideas. You will find in the beginning a lot of people that just want to work on the idea just for the sake of working on it. And that was very interesting and very important. Chessboxing, first and foremost of all, is a sport that combines the #1 thinking with the #1 fighting sport. So the sport is 6 rounds of chess, 5 rounds of boxing, alternating, and you win by checkmate or knockout, whichever comes first. And second of all, it's a startup. There is no irony, not at all. We're blood serious about it. Maybe people laugh at the first round, which is a chess round, is that this is impossible. But after the second round, which is a boxing round, everybody understands it's serious. The market potential is extremely interesting and it's very disruptive.
Ha egy ötlet akkorát robban, hogy megkérdőjelezi egy szolgáltatás korábbi működését, arra azt mondják, hogy disruptolta, megtörte a piacot, mint például az Uber a taxizást.
We are an event-driven business. We have revenues through ticket sales, sponsoring, merchandising, and eventually media rights are very interesting. If we want to enter the US market, we need one very good fighter, who is a very good chess boxer. We're gonna make him fight into the World Championship Series here in Europe, make sure the press in America knows about it, starts writing. We actually found that fighter in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This guy has it all, like more than 100 fights and 7 knockouts. He wrote 2 books and is really a great chess player. I always like to think like it's redefining masculinity. So it's this very essential part about being a man, the macho, the fighter, which is partly attractive to women, but not completely. This additional part that the man has to control his instinct, the control of the mind over the body, testosterone and adrenaline. And I think this balances out the two forces in men. And I think it's also very interesting for women to see this, new form of manlyhood.
So here you can see that you are past your period, you're past a fertile window where you can get pregnant, and you are now approaching your next coming cycle. And then you have this selection of different categories you can track. So you can, for instance, track whether a new cycle has started, or how you slept, and various other things. Working on something that is it's kind of a need to have, it's not a nice to have. You have to somehow care about your reproductive health, because otherwise you're going to have 10 children, right? It's like you have to do something. Then we also have a lot of informational content in the app. So if you want to understand, for instance, better what a fertile window is, you can press this I and you can read about it. And this is all scientific, solid information based on the latest science, and we have all the references. So if you want to look and go to the scientific papers, you can see where it's coming from. It's a big motivation factor, I think, for everybody working in Clue, and for me, it's like we're really trying to do something about a real problem in the world. That sets a lot of the tone for what we do. We try to be very scientific with everything we do, really provide high quality information to people, because one of the things that we see is that there is so much misinformation as well in the world, so many myths and kind of taboo stories and strange things in this field, so we try to be very scientific.
So whenever we want to say something and want everybody to be here, we just use the gong.
Az Axel Springer nevű nagy médiavállalat nemrég indított egy accelerator, egy gyorsító képzést Berlinben olyan startupoknak, akiknek már vannak ügyfeleik, beindultak, de ahhoz, hogy kijussanak a nemzetközi piacra, sokkal több befektetőre és több tudásra van szükségük. A program tartalmaz egy $25 000 támogatást, és a végén egy utazást a Szilíciumvölgybe.
Selling a print newspaper is now in danger. And that's also why Axel Springer invests in startups, because they know they are the new ideas, they are the disrupting ones, and we don't want to be disrupted, we want to be part of this disruption, and that's why it makes sense for them to invest in us and an accelerator. Our most successful startup at the moment is number 26. They're like a new online bank, so they have a very nice app and a credit card you can use to do your online banking like you've never done it before. They were here in our first batch, so 2 years ago. And now they just raised 10 million euros from Bala Ventures from the US, so that's super successful, and we're very proud that they made it.
Ha egy startup beindul, akkor egyre több tőkére van szüksége. Ekkor jöhet a képbe egy olyan vállalat, amelyik meg kifejezetten a startupok finanszírozásából szerzi a bevételeit. Ők a venture capitalist cégek, vagy a VC-k, akik már több millió dolláros nagyságrendű befektetésekkel üzletelnek. Az angel investorok és a VC-k azon túl, hogy a megérzéseikre hallgatnak, hogy melyik startup előtt áll fényes jövő, a statisztikára játszanak, hogyha 10 befektetésből 1 bejön, akkor nekik már megérte az üzlet.
Olvastam egyszer egy cikket, ami arról szólt, hogy amikor a YouTube-ot elindították, mert volt 17 000 YouTube az interneten. Tehát létezett már 17 000 olyan cég, aminek az alapötlete az volt, hogy bárki feltölthet és megoszthat videókat. És ez egy picit jellemző szerintem az egész startup világra. Tehát itt már nem az ötlet a lényeg, hanem az a lényeg, hogy hogyan kivitelezed. Milyen csapatot raksz mögé, milyen kémiája lesz az egész cégnek.
A startupok nagyon keményen számítanak az emberi tényezőre, nem is tehetnek mást, mert kicsiből indulnak, nagyon dinamikusan fejlődnek, nagyon nagy kockázatot vállalnak, és nem tehetik meg azt, hogy olyan emberekre építsék fel a cégüket, akiknek nem tetszik a termékük, akik nem hajlandóak a heti 40 óránál többet dolgozni, és akik nem tudnak csapatban dolgozni.
This is one of our secret projects, glowing football scarves. It's gonna take a while to break into this business.